security. And it is all because of my friend here. So there's wonder about their future. So concerns still remain very, very deep.
Hi everyone, Callebs here in Kabul, Afghanistan, and very few people get the chance to come into this country and look at what it really has. And we're inside one of the areas that holds its real treasures. We're inside the National Museum that holds artifacts. This is a nation that has very rich history. And take a look at this bronze pan that dates back to the Islamic period. It should be in a museum. It goes back thousands of years, but it almost was stolen. Authorities caught someone trying to smuggle this out, and this entire exhibition in this room is all made up of relics that people tried to steal and were caught at the Kabul airport. And the general director of the National Museum, Mohammed Fahim Rahimi, he is the person responsible for keeping track of all this and keeping it down. Does it ever shock you that people try to steal these things?
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, it's not shocking because we used it, and unfortunately we have this case for more than actually since I work here. I've been dealing with this kind of situation, unfortunately, in the National Museum of Afghanistan, even as not as a ruling director, but even before that I was always involved on confiscating of these pieces and also returning of the looted pieces from outside of the country. And so I'm used to it, so it's not shocking for me. Unfortunately, I have to say. But yeah, I mean, when sometimes actually you get pieces which are very unique and very valuable to the history of the country. And it's very
put
sad.
The pieces of this country together.
Yeah, and it's very sad to see them, people actually take it out of the archaeological site, because I get more upset and unhappy because if these pieces are taken out of the archaeological site, we destroy the historical context of the site, which is actually a very irreparable damage to the history of the country, which we cannot get it back.
Perfect.
This piece should not be, probably does not have a lot of monetary value, but because of its history, it is very significant and important for the history of Afghanistan. And we made an exhibition of it to show our activities there. And unfortunately, if we acquire a piece like this, it is not very educational and good for the National Museum or any museum in the world, because we lose actually the whole story which an archaeologist can find through the archaeological excavation. Because I mean, the archaeologists work like very to consider all the aspects of the story, right. And that's how history is made. But unfortunately, the smugglers do not care about that. They just go and look for the antiquity and take it out like this piece.
Tell me about this piece.
This is a piece, a mortar from the Ghaznavid period. So it's from the 11th to 12th century CE. And so this is one of the pieces actually that was looted, and we confiscated it at Kabul airport.
And this as well, while it's valuable, but it is priceless in terms of your heritage.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, something which we have to consider that unfortunately in the past years, the National Museum of Afghanistan collection has not been studied very well. Every of these kind of pieces actually tell us a lot about our history, and that's how makes it significant for Afghanistan.
And it doesn't have to be thousands of years old. These guns here.
Yeah, like this kind. According to our law, everything more than 100 years old is considered antiquity and should be preserved in Afghanistan. So it's not allowed to be exported out of the country.
And then here, this is very well copied. You can buy copies of these everywhere, but these are the real things that people tried to smuggle out.
Yeah, these are the original knives and daggers from the 20th century and 19th century. And you can find also the copy of that, but these are the original pieces. Or we have these kind of swords which are made in Afghanistan. Especially these are the swords which was made in 19th century in Afghanistan. So that's how it is.
You know, I found out one other fascinating thing, if you will. It's not just the stuff that was stolen being caught out here. You're working very hard to find the stuff that has been looted over the years, where it may be in private ownership or a museum. Are you having success in getting it back?
Yes, we have been very successful on that. We received about 15,000 objects out of the country in the past years, after 2007 until now. And just the last case was a couple of weeks ago. Actually, we got one piece from Malaysia, which was kept in the Islamic Art Museum in Malaysia, and it was actually an object from National Museum of Afghanistan that was found from Ghazni, from the Masood III Palace. We got that piece just a couple of weeks ago. So we have been trying very hard to get back whatever belongs to Afghanistan, to this country.
Mohammed Fahim Rahimi, thank you very much for your time. Best of luck here.
Thank you.
And, oops.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And, if you think about it, I think a lot of people remember when the Taliban first seized control in the 1990s, and the large Buddhas, the historic Buddhas that everybody knows globally now, that were blown out of the wall in Bamiyan. Well, now the Taliban government says it is working to preserve all these relics, including some of the 5,000 sites. So it's going to keep our friend Mr. Rahimi very busy moving forward. Once again, Callebs here in Afghanistan.